We've talked to enough ball players over the last 6 months that I truly do believe we have a little bit better understanding than this than maybe the casual fan.
It's the walk-off with Scott Belford and Adam Mack.
This ball is crushed.
So the MLB implemented these new rules when it comes to the sticky substance stuff, where pine tar and that sort of thing isn't supposed to be on the balls because it's a way to increase your spin rate as a pitcher artificially. We've talked to enough ball players over the last 6 months that I truly do believe we have a little bit better understanding than this than maybe the casual fan. We've heard from pitchers, we've heard from hitters, and for the most part, ball players feel like it's not that big of a deal. Everybody's doing it. We've even heard from hitters who have said stuff like, listen, I would like the pitcher using pine tar, especially when it's cold, because they lose control of the ball sometimes, and the last thing I'd like is to get hit by a 95-mile-an-hour fastball because the guy loses his grip. However, the artificial increase of spin rate does really help the pitchers, and this is why the MLB is decided to crack down, or at least that's the lip service they're saying. Personally, I think this is literally an attack on Trevor Bauer, which Trevor Bauer's been screaming from the rooftops since 2015 that everyone's cheating. It's BS. Garrett Cole's making a ton of money because of it. Like, he just spouted off, and he has not been shy about it. And he points the finger at MLB, and he gets in their face, and they don't like that. So the new rules, what they've decided to do is that they're going to randomly test balls and see if there's pine tar on them or some sort of sticky substance. If they find a substance, then they're going to go into the past of the pitcher, figure out his spin rate there, and if there's a huge increase, then there's some sort of fine and suspension,
right,
and who knows. So right now, they are randomly checking Trevor Bauer's balls. He's the only pitcher that they have randomly chosen. I know there's a lot of Trevor Bauer haters out there who are fine with this targeted attack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a hater by any means. Does Trevor Bauer annoy me sometimes? How can he not? But I do get a kick out of him. And I think that it is kind of BS that this is the way MLB is going about it, because this isn't about spin rate. This isn't about sticky substances. This is about making Trevor Bauer shut the hell up.
Yep.
This is the Trevor Bauer rule. This rule is in place to be like, stop pointing out that we were using sticky substances. Stop making a big deal that now you're hiring scientists to make your own. Stop all of this, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how you feel about it. I know you just brought up that that vlog Bauer put out recently.
Yeah, I mean, I only got a few minutes into it before we went live here today. But as of 2 weeks ago, Trevor Bauer on his own YouTube page continues to taunt the MLB and says, look, even these new rule changes, they won't change anything. They don't mean anything. It's all bogus, basically. I mean, in his words, he says, his understandings of the rules are that pitchers are the only ones that are not allowed to have a sticky substance on their person, right? So if a catcher has sticky substance on his gear, on his glove, if a third baseman, if a center fielder has a sticky substance, that's legal in the MLB. You can't go out and say, hey, the left fielder has pine tar on his wrist, let's toss him from the game. That's never been a rule. It's not a rule now. So I guess that's what the defense we're going to see when a sticky substance comes back on one of Trevor Bauer's balls is prove that it came from me.
It's pretty common knowledge that Yadi Molina, he loads the ball up for his pitcher.
Yeah. So
like you look at Yadi, he's got all this pine tar on his wrist, right?
Yeah.
His pitchers don't even need to load the ball up.
He's loading it up and throwing it back.
He's loading it up and throwing it back. Like, it's such a silly rule.
Yeah.
They're going to find ways to circumvent it, and they're going to also find ways to punish Trevor Bauer for constantly bringing up how stupid these rules are, and that's what's going on, I think.
Absolutely.
So We'll see what the tests come back on these Bauer balls that they have sent to the lab. Personally, I think it would be hilarious if they managed to suspend Trevor Bauer over this. Like, Bauer would lose his mind. I almost want to see it happen just for the fallout. All right, everybody. I think we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for listening. Again, you can follow us on Twitter, at Walk Off Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram, the Walk Off Podcast. We're available wherever you get your podcasts, and you can subscribe and follow us on YouTube, the Walk Off Podcast. Thank you so much for listening,